think a lot of aspects of the culture are basically dying.
If you don't have any interest in it, it's pointless to give it to them.
If I don't sell, I want to control it. What am I going to eat? How to survive?
I think we're just trying to keep the art going.
And it can go down from generation to generation.
I guess, yeah, that it will not die out.
We still cannot solve the problem.
So I'm David Neo. I was born and bred in Singapore. So in the last 10 years, I guess I've been living in KL. Both my parents are Peranakan. So my dad is from Malacca and the Rumah Abu is still on Hiran Street. My dad's side, I think I can trace as far as like 10 generations in Malacca. My mum is Peranakan from Singapore. So we can trace maybe about 5 generations in Singapore, but they would have also come from Malacca at one point. The word Peranakan basically comes from the root word anak. So, which basically means locally born. And the whole idea of Peranakan was basically merchant immigrants, I guess, you know, the Chinese. With Peranakan culture, like with the Peranakan Chinese, it's mostly Chinese with obviously Malay base and also European culture. Yeah, it's like with colonization. So you find that there is basically sort of like, you know, this adaptation, this acculturation of all these different cultures that makes it what it is. Your kasut manik is very much part of the sarong kebaya. And I guess before the sarong kebaya, the nonyas were wearing baju panjang. It's like, and it was to basically complete their baju panjang or their sarong kebaya.
Previously, in the olden days, how the future mother-in-law were to scout for future daughter-in-law. Alright, I'm Nyonya ELAINE and I'm from Malacca, born and bred from Malacca. Both my parents are typical Baba and Nyonya. You can say that I have the Peranakan blood in me.
The nonyas were basically kept at home. It's like, and they were not allowed really to sort of like leave the home until they are married. Nonyas basically sort of had to show their handiwork to prospective families that they will be married to.
One of it is to see how the workmanship of your kasut manik-manik. Okay, why? Because from the sewing of the kasut manik-manik, for example here, now at the back of the kasut manik-manik, they will see how it is being sewn, you know, and how tidy are you when you sew your kasut manik-manik. So that will actually reflect the characteristics and the personality of the person who sews it.
And I guess more importantly, it was sort of like to see her character, you know, the patience and the discipline that goes into beading and what kind of like work you produce. So that was sort of like, you know, how that was part of the Peranakan culture. The problem is really with the cobbling and the cobblers. I don't know how long more we're gonna have sort of like cobblers being able to cobble the shoes. I think that is more the issue. I think that would have been interesting, like where does he think, is it a thriving business? Or I don't even know if after he dies, it's like, you know, is his family interested in it? So that's like one of the biggest manik store, I believe, in that you can commercially sort of like buy in Malacca.
Okay, I'm Mr. Lim. In short, the full name is Lim Tian Seng. So in short, it's TS Lim. So I operate my own business under TS Lim Trading. I'm in this business line about 23 years. I started year 2000. From this craft, actually I learned from a very young age. My wife did learn also, but she's from the community. Then one day I saw her doing, then I said, hey, when I was young, my mom used to teach me to do this also. Yeah, I have a daughter, but at the moment, she's working, and maybe see lah, a few years down the road, maybe she will come in and just open a class to teach. I don't think she will come in to take over my business. So if she really keen, then she have to go and learn from scratch. But the way I see it is very, very tough, because frankly speaking, this business, you need, besides sewing, you need to do some basic shoes, making of the shoes. I myself, it comes from those shoes makers. They are not very educated, and they are start from very, very young, and they just make shoes until they are old only. Then after retire, that's their life. This art is something very unique that you can't find in anywhere else. Actually, this craft is very European, but European design mostly are all flowers at that time. China, they bring in a lot of motifs like a dragon, rabbit, rooster, and all that. Right now you can see we got a lot of design. It's a melting pot of mixture of the design down here. Mostly now our design is based on kebaya, because kebaya is also one part of the Baba Nyonya culture. So traditionally we are following that trend also. Let's say now we found that there are some younger generation, they don't wear kebaya, but they want to wear beaded shoes. So we did some design, very young look like this one. This they can wear for every day as a casual wear. So this is something very modern now for the youngsters. This beaded shoes is also one part of the Peranakan heirloom. Normally heirloom they thought is like, oh, give me like a diamond or gold chain. But actually this is a shoe can be considered a heirloom. That means it can pass down from one generation to another.
This heirloom, I obtained it from my grand aunties, okay, and my auntie, alright, my aunties actually, and also my mother, yeah. My aunt, my grandmother, my grand aunties, they are all wearing it. So indirectly, I'm exposed to love it, alright, and to know the value of each and every beaded shoes. And that's where I learned more about it. I have the love for it, and that's where I started to collect them, yeah, and appreciate them. So through the appreciation which I've shown, okay, then my late grand aunties, you know, they see that, oh, I love to wear it. So indirectly they say, okay, now this is a piece for you. You can go and make, you know, your kasut, according to your size, right? So I was very lucky in that sense. And at times, you know, at that time when I'm still very young, they had very old kasut manik-manik potong. Then they say, okay, this one, you know, I'm not going to use it anymore. I give it to you. I pass it to you, so you can go and resole it, you know, retapak. Then after that, to your size. So that's how I slowly started collecting one by one. Yeah. So all these, you need to have a person who inherit it, who treasures it, and know its value. Then they will, you know, keep it nicely, and it can go down from generation to generation. If they don't have any interest in it, it's pointless to give it to them because they don't treasure it. Sewing kasut manik-manik really tests of patience. It will take a very long time. But sad to say that, you know, nowadays, we young nyonyas have lesser time to sew all these because most of us, we concentrate on our careers.
To do that one, it takes very long time, and it's a lot of work involved. We have to draw everything, then the design, then you have to ask the customer, is it okay, this design and all that. It's a lot of work. I think for the next generation it will be very tough because the trade is getting slower and slower and slowly going to be extinct. Because I see Singapore and Penang, those last time they have shop also doing. So once they retire, pull down the shutter, boom, that's all. Habis, nothing. If I don't sell, I want to control it. What am I going to eat? Macam nak makan? How to survive? That's why another problem again. Some design, other shop they don't have. It's handmade and it's limited. But actually this beads is not plastic, it's all glass beads. Olden times we have some vintage beads, they are mostly from Europe, that means it's Italy, German and France. At that time, those are glass beads, they mostly do for colored glass for the chapel. They are called Murano beads in Italy. And lately there are still people approach us, they ask us whether we want to buy any more beads. So I tell them no, I am not going to buy any more because I'm getting old. But I still got some beads to last me another 10 more years.